What a mess! A highly anticipated debate at the prestigious Oxford Union, supposed to be a fiery showdown between India and Pakistan, has completely collapsed into a public slanging match. Accusations are flying, reputations are on the line, and honestly, it's all become a bit of a farce. So what on earth happened? Let's break down this bizarre story. The motion on the table was a provocative one. This House believes that India's response to Pakistan is a populist strategy sold as security policy. It was set to be a clash of intellectual titans. But just hours before it was scheduled to begin on November 27th, the whole thing imploded. Let's look at the two very different stories emerging from the wreckage. On one side, we have Indian Speaker J. Deepak, who took to social media platform X with a detailed, blistering account. He claims this was an organizational failure at best and a deliberate Pakistani gambit at worst. According to Deepak, the event was shaky from the start. He pointed out that key figures in the Oxford Union have Pakistani connections. He named the president, Musa Harij, as allegedly being the son of Pakistan's Minister of Defense Production and the treasurer, Razan Azhar. This, he implies, set a certain tone for the proceedings. Then there was the issue with the Indian speakers. The original high-profile lineup was meant to include former Army Chief General Naravane and Dr. Subramanian Swamy. But just 2 days before the debate, they had to pull out due to unavoidable commitments. This sent the organizers scrambling for replacements. Deepak, who was already on board, stepped up. He said he worked quickly to assemble a new team from within the UK, bringing in Monu Kojuria and Pundit Satish K. Sharma to argue India's case. Despite the last-minute changes, the Indian side was ready to go. And then, the final collapse. Deepak says he got a call at 3:13 p.m. on the day of the debate. He was told that the Pakistani delegation, which included prominent figures like former Foreign Minister Haina Rabbani Khan and Defence Minister Kawaya Mohammad Asif, hadn't even landed in London yet. Hearing this, the Indian team, understandably, decided not to make the journey to Oxford. Why go if your opponents aren't even in the country? But here's where the story takes a truly farcical turn. Deepak later claimed he received confirmation that the Pakistani delegation had, in fact, landed. Not only that, but they were reportedly staying at a hotel right there in Oxford. This revelation led Deepak to launch a scathing attack. He accused the Pakistani side of deserting the battlefield even before the battle begins, suggesting they simply lack the courage to face a live, unscripted debate. He didn't hold back his criticism of the Oxford Union's leadership either, saying they allowed their prestigious institution to be dragged in muck and effectively become a mouthpiece for the Pakistan High Commission. His sentiment was echoed by others. Shiv Sena UBT lawmaker Priyanka Chaturvedi also weighed in on X, tweeting, "Pakistan is crying again over an Oxford Union debate. This is for the record. Once again they have proved to be liars. Expecting any better from them was not even on my list." Now, let's flip the coin and look at the official statement from the other side. The Pakistan High Commission in London painted a completely different picture. In their press release, they expressed regret that the Indian delegation had withdrawn at the last minute. They went so far as to say this handed a walkover to the Pakistani side. Their narrative frames the situation as the Indian team getting cold feet. They suggested that the withdrawal showed a lack of confidence from the Indian speakers in their ability to defend their country as security policy. In what they called a neutral and intellectually rigorous debate, the High Commission claimed their team, including Haina Rabbani Khan and Kawaya Asif, was present and fully prepared to argue their case. So, who do you believe? We have two completely contradictory accounts. One side says the other was a no-show, and the other side says the exact opposite. Let's try to piece this puzzle together. The timeline is crucial. Deepak's account hinges on that 3:13 p.m. phone call informing him the Pakistani delegation hadn't landed. If that call was based on misinformation, it explains why the Indian team cancelled their travel plans. But then, who gave them that information? Was it a genuine mistake by the organisers, or something more calculated? Deepak's subsequent discovery that the Pakistani team was already in Oxford suggests a major communication breakdown at the very least. His frustration is palpable. He had prepared for a serious debate, rearranged schedules, and put together a team on short notice, only for it to fall apart under very suspicious circumstances. His criticism of the Oxford Union leadership is particularly pointed. The Union has a centuries-old tradition of hosting world leaders and fostering robust debate. To be accused of being manipulated or becoming a tool for a specific country as diplomatic mission is a serious charge. It raises questions about the Union's internal processes and vetting procedures for such high-stakes international events. On the other hand, the Pakistan High Commission's statement is a classic piece of diplomatic spin. By framing it as a walkover, they attempted to score a propaganda victory. Portraying India as unwilling to engage in open discussion, they highlighted the original, high-profile Indian speakers who pulled out General Naravane, Dr. Swami, and also mentioned Sachin Pilot to suggest a pattern of avoidance. However, this narrative conveniently ignores the core of Sir Deepak's allegation that his team was specifically told the Pakistani delegation was absent. If his account is true, then the High Commission's statement is not just spin, but a deliberate misrepresentation of the facts. This entire episode has moved beyond a simple cancelled event. It has become a microcosm of the broader India-Pakistan information war, where narrative and perception are key weapons. Each side is trying to control the story, painting the other as unreliable, untruthful, or cowardly. The real loser here might just be the Oxford Union itself. Its reputation is built on facilitating exactly these kinds of challenging conversations. For an event to descend into such public recrimination and chaos is a significant blow. It will likely force them to re-evaluate how they organize events involving sensitive geopolitical issues and high-profile international speakers. What started as an academic debate on policy has morphed into a messy public feud. It's a classic he said, she said scenario, but on an international scale, played out on social media and through official press releases. The core question remains unanswered. Was this a simple, albeit massive, logistical failure, or a deliberate act of sabotage designed to avoid a debate? Sir Deepak and his supporters are convinced it as the latter, a calculated move by the Pakistani side to create the appearance of a debate without ever having to face tough questions. The Pakistan High Commission insists it was the Indian side that backed out. Ultimately, without a third-party confirmation from the Oxford Union leadership clarifying the sequence of events and the communications that took place, we are left with two conflicting stories. But the sheer level of detail in Sir Deepak's account, combined with the last-minute nature of the chaos, certainly raises some serious questions. It's a disappointing end to what could have been a fascinating and important discussion. Instead of intellectual engagement, we got a political soap opera. What do you think really happened? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Was this a case of organizational incompetence or a clever political gambit? It's a messy situation, and it seems the real debate is now happening online, not in the halls of Oxford. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into complex stories like this. See you next time.